to learn about leadership, we need to learn about a concept called the circle of control. And this is a really helpful concept to learn very early on, because what it stops us doing is wasting energy on things that we cannot change. As a young person, when I was going to dance, it was quite a quick turnaround from finishing school to getting into the city where my dance studio was. And quite often there was a lot of traffic. And I used to get very, very stressed about being late for dance class, to the point that I'd feel very worried and anxious. And it would mean that when I did get to dance class, I wasn't particularly focused, even if I was on time, because I had worked myself up into a state of worry or anxiety. Now that I know about the circle of control, I can realize that the amount of traffic on the road and the fact that that was causing me to be late is not in my control. So I want you to think about two circles. One is large and one is small. In the middle of the circle are the things that we can change, the things that we can control. On the outside of the circle, or in the big circle, are things that we cannot. And I've already given you an example of that, being how many cars are on the road, how the traffic is, whether there is roadworks that's slowing things down. This doesn't mean that we can't still take action on those things. Perhaps now that I'm older and I was caught up in traffic and I'm the teacher of the class and I'm going to be late, I could still take action by ringing the studio where I work and saying to them, I've been stuck in roadworks and I'm going to be 5 minutes late. So even though I can't change the fact that I'm going to be late, I can take action to help others prepare for my arrival. Now, let's take away the idea of roadworks, and let's say whether being on time or being late is in your circle of control or not. I would say, for the most part, that being on time is in your circle of control. So what could you do? What actions could you take to make sure that you're turning up to your responsibilities, whether it's your own dance class, whether it's your class being a DanceStep student, or whether it's going to school or something else? What actions can you take to make sure that you're turning up on time? Those things such as setting an alarm, possibly getting up a little bit earlier, making sure you've packed your bag the night before, making a list if you're often running around worrying that you're going to forget something. What are the things that you can take control over to make sure that you're on time? Having a look in your workbook, there is a question about adding some of your own ideas. What things do you have no control over? And what things do you have control over? The weather is another really great example. So you might say, well, I've got no control over the weather, the fact that it's pouring with rain and it's really, really cold. But what you do have control over is how you dress for the weather. So you have control over the fact that you can choose to take an umbrella or wear a jacket or put on a scarf so that you're not both cold and wet. So take some time to fill in this chart. You might like to ask a friend to do it with them, or ask a mentor, teacher or parent, because it is a little bit of a tricky concept, but the sooner you learn to understand it, the better off you will be as a leader, and possibly in your own life as well, so that you're only spending energy worrying about the things that you can change.